Good morning, children. Welcome to GM Donda's e-learning class. Our today's subject is science. You all might have enjoyed the Diwali vacation, right? Now it is a time to study. So today we will start our second chapter of the science, that is force, work and energy. So by the end of this chapter, you will be able to learn what is force, energy, how many types of force, means all the different type of force, then about the machines, simple machines and the various type of other machines, then the difference between the simple machine and a complex machine, right? Now, do you know, children, what is force? In a daily life, we all are using this act. Any push or pull on the object, that is known as a force. Force is applied when we do any kind of work. For example, if we lift a glass of water, or if we lift a pen or pencil, if we write, or if we turn the pages of a book, we apply the force. If we move the door, or if we throw a ball or we catch a ball, we apply the force. Now, what kind of effects are there that we will see? Force can make the object move, means a ball start rolling when it kicked, means हम जब बॉल को किक करते हैं, और if we slide the pencil or anything, means force can make the things move. Force can stop a moving thing also. If you are playing with your friend and he throw the ball towards you and you catch the ball, that means आपने बॉल को stop किया catch करके, right? Then force can change the direction in which an object is moved. Force direction भी change करता है. A badminton, for example, a badminton shuttle changes the direction when it hit with a racket. जब हम रैकेट से मीन्स जब हम रैकेट और शटल से बैडमिंटन प्ले करते हैं, एट दैट टाइम बोथ, if you and your friend are playing and you hit the shuttle, it change the direction. That is also a example of a force, right? Here you can see the pictures. Force can move an object, then force can stop the object. Force can change the direction of a movement. Force can change the shape of an object, right? Suppose your mother is making a chapatis from a dough, right? So it can change the shape also. Now force can change the shape of an object. How many types of forces are there? Muscular force, gravitational force, frictional force, then elastic force, mechanical force, right? Now what is muscular force? When you push or pull an object, you use your muscles to apply the force, right? This is known as a muscular force. The force which is applied or act is done with the help of your muscles, when we use the muscles to move anything, that is known as a muscular force. We use muscular force to open a door, move the table, or write the work in the book. This is the examples of a muscular force. Gravitational force. See children, you all are aware what is gravitational force, right? Means our earth is having this gravitational attraction, right? So, every object in the universe attract the objects near it. खुद की तरफ कोई भी चीज को खींचना, अट्रैक्ट करना, that is known as a gravitational force. The gravitational force of attraction is called the gravitational force. Depends on the size of a object. This force is depending on the size of a object. आपने कभी ball that is throw up and it falls back to the earth, मतलब हम बॉल को अगर ऊपर की तरफ फेंकते हैं, it will come back to on the land. It means earth is having a gravitational force. This gravity pulls the object towards, मतलब जो ग्रेविटी होती है वो ऑब्जेक्ट को अपनी तरफ खींच के रखती है. And keep the birds or anything flying away into the space. Frictional force. Have you seen what happened when toy car is pushed? The car stops after some time. जब आप छोटे थे या तो अभी भी कोई बच्चे जो मतलब व्हीकल या ऐसा कोई टॉय होता है उससे खेलते हैं, इफ यू मूव इट विल स्टॉप बाय some few of a minutes, right? This is because of a friction. It acts in the direction of opposite. वो opposite direction में act करता है. It stopped the car after some time. Smooth surface cause less friction than a rough surface. Smooth surface पे friction जो होता है वो less होता है और rough surface पे ज़्यादा होता है. Friction is very important in the daily life. Friction जो है वो daily life में बहुत important है. It is needed for when we talk or any surface. जब हम कोई भी surface पे चलते हैं, we need friction. For brakes to the work in your means friction for the brakes to the work when we ride a bicycle. Without friction anything is moving will never stop. अगर frictional force नहीं है we won't be able to stop anything which is moving or rolling, right? So frictions is very much important, playing an important role in our daily life. Now elastic force. What happened when we stretch a rubber band and let it go, it goes back to its original length. मतलब हम rubber band को, say for example this is the rubber band, if I stretch it and if I leave, it will come back to the original shape, right? Here I have stretched the rubber band, then I leave it from one side, it will come back to the original shape. So this is known as a elastic force, right? The force that resists the stretching and makes the material go back to its original state is called elastic force, mechanical force. This is this is a kind of force that cause this is a kind of force that cause the object on which it acts to change its motion or a start moving. It can also bend or a break thing. मतलब so force, when we do any kind of work, we apply force. It depends, however the work is easy or we have to move the heavy object. That is depend on the we have to apply the force. अगर कुछ हल्की चीज़ें हमें मूव करनी है then force will be less, and हमें कोई भारी चीज़ें अगर मूव करनी है, if we want to move the heavy cart, then we have to use the more force, right? Here you can see in these two pictures, this is the empty cart, right? And in the another picture the cart is loaded. There you require the more force. So machines help us to do the work, right? Suppose a sewing machine can stitch the clothes, or a washing machine washes our clothes, right? Um, Smaller machine we use like scissor, knives to cut anything like vegetables or any paper, right? So these machines makes our work easy. Now here we see some examples and what kind of machines can be there, right? A sewing machine and a washing machine are made up of many parts. They are thus called a complex machine. मतलब सिर्फ एक मशीन नहीं, जो ज़्यादा मशीन से कोई भी चीज़ बनी है, that is known as a complex machine. Scissors, knives and tweezers are the made up of very few parts and they are called the simple machine. Suppose screw, knives, scissors, उसमें बहुत ज़्यादा और मशीन्स नहीं होते हैं, दैट इज़ वाई दे आर नोन एज अ सिंपल मशीन्स. दे हेल्प अस टू डू द वर्क बाय यूजिंग फोर्स मोर एफिशिएंटली, राइट? मतलब हमारा वर्क बहुत एफिशिएंसी के साथ होता है व्हेन वी यूज़ द मशीन. देयर आर 6 बेसिक सिंपल मशीन्स. The types of simple machines are lever, inclined plane, then wedge, screw, pulley and wheel and axle. See children, these all simple machines you have already studied in your last class, right? Previous class in the 4th standard. Complex machines are made up of these 6 simple machines together. ये simple machines साथ में जुड़ के complex machine बनते हैं. Lever. Suppose you are asked to move a heavy boulder. So you means we may find it very difficult to do. But if we are given a strong road on a small stone, we can move this boulder very easily by using the rod as shown here in the picture. How we can move this easily? See, here in the picture it is shown that the boulder is the load that has to be moved, जिसको हमें move करना है. One end of the rod is put under the boulder, right? उसको रोड के एक पार्ट को बोल्डर के नीचे रखना है. The small stones support the rod and the point at the which the rod touches, the stone is fixed and does not move. It is called the fulcrum. The rod is free to turn around the fulcrum. मतलब रोड हम we can turn from left to right. We will push down the other end of the rod to shift the boulder. This push or force applied to move the load is called a effort. Means here we have put the effort to shift the load, right? The arrangement of a rod free to move around the fixed point, that is fulcrum, is called a lever. Levers are grouped into three types depending on the positions of efforts, load and fulcrum. तीन टाइप के लीवर होते हैं जो डिपेंड रहते हैं कौन सी पोजीशन पे, एफर्ट कहाँ पे डालनी है, लोड कहाँ पे है एंड वेयर इज फुलक्रम. हियर यू कैन सी द फर्स्ट क्लास लीवर. वहाँ पे फर्स्ट क्लास लीवर में पहले लोड होता है, देन फुलक्रम इज इन द मिडल एंड देन efforts. In this type of lever, the fulcrum is placed between the effort and a load. The seesaw, it is the example of a first class lever. Here you can see in the picture seesaw, right? In that fulcrum is in the middle. If you put the efforts at the one end, it will affect to the load also, right? First class lever, scissor, claw, hammers and pliers are the example of first class lever. When we use a spoon to open the lid of a can, we use it as a first class lever, means bottle opener, right? That is also first class lever. Now second class lever. Second class lever में क्या होता है? फुलक्रम आगे रहता है, then load and then efforts. In this type of lever, the fulcrum is at the one end to the rod and the effort is applied to the another end. The load lies in the middle or a between, right? The fulcrum and the efforts Wheelbarrow, bottle opener and nutcrackers are the example of second class lever. The wheelbarrow allows one to lift and shift a heavy load with the wheel as the fulcrum. You can see the picture on the page number 17, the examples of second class lever, right? Now what is third class lever? In this type of lever, the fulcrum is at the one end of the lever and the load is at the other end, and the effort apply in the middle means between the fulcrum and a load. Fishing rod, tweezer and tongs are the example of third class lever. Here are the picture given on the page number 17, the examples of a third class lever. Now, inclined plane. Have you ever wondered how the ancient Egyptians lifted heavy stones to build the pyramids? मतलब पिरामिड्स बिल्ड करने के लिए उन्होंने हैवी स्टोन्स कैसे उठाए होंगे? They used a ramp or an inclined plane, right? Here you can see in the picture of a inclined plane. An inclined plane is a slope that helps us move a load between two levels with less efforts. बहुत कम एफर्ट के साथ हमें लोड को मूव करने में inclined plane जो होता है that help. It does not look like a machine at all. वो मशीन के जैसा नहीं दिखता है. A normal person cannot load a heavy box into their rear of a truck easily. ट्रक में वो इजीली कोई भी हैवी चीज़ नहीं रख सकते हैं. बट बाय द प्लेसिंग एन इंक्लाइन वुडन प्लैंक, मतलब कोई भी एक वुडन प्लैंक, वुडन का कोई या तो आयरन का कोई भी एक प्लैंक बना के, इफ़ वी मीन्स लाइक दिस वे, ऐसे वो चीज़ को इजीली दे कैन मूव अप एंड दे कैन मूव डाउन, राइट? सपोज कोई मट्टी भरा ट्रक है, इतनी सारी मट्टी एक साथ नहीं निकाल सकते, तो हाउ मीन्स जो स्टोन्स या तो कुछ भी है उसको ऐसे प्लैंक, वुडन प्लैंक या तो आयरन प्लैंक बना के यूज करके वहां से ऐसा स्लाइड कर सकते हैं. इन दिस काइंड ऑफ वर्क दिस inclined plane is used. A wheelchair can be easily pushed up and inclined plane in a hospital. मीन्स स्ट्रेचर ले जाने में या तो व्हीलचेयर मूव करने में ऐसा स्लोप बना हुआ होता है कहीं हॉस्पिटल में या बहुत सारी जगह पे, राइट? सो दिस इज नोन एज अ एग्जाम्पल ऑफ inclined प्लेन. ऐसा कोई वुडन या तो आयरन का ऐसा प्लैंक बना के उसके ऊपर हम दूसरा मशीन मूव कर सकते हैं इजीली, राइट? वाइंडिंग माउंटेन्स रोड इज ऑल्सो एन inclined plane. If a steep road were built directly up the side of a mountain, buses and cars would not be able to go up. मतलब ऐसा स्टीप, अगर सीधा ऐसा सीधा अगर हमने यूज़ किया रोड वहाँ पे, तो बसेस एंड कार वुड नॉट बी एबल टू मूव अप टू द, अगर हिली एरिया है वहाँ जाने के लिए ऐसा स्ट्रेट रास्ता बना, देन व्हीकल आगे चल जा पाएंगे नहीं, इट विल कम बैक with the use of gravitational force, right? So this kind of inclined plane type of roads माउंटेन की पीक पे जाने के लिए ऐसा यूज होता है. सो इट पुट अ लेस efforts is needed to go up to the mountain on these roads. Through the distance to covered becomes the greater. Now what are wages? Here you can see in the picture mountain pe on the page number 18, steep road up the hill and here the winding road, right? Now wages. A wages is made up of two inclined planes joined together to form a sharp edges, a knife and an axe, and the chisels are example of wedges. Screw. The screw looks like a nails with a grooves. अंदर जो कट मार्क होते हैं स्क्रू के अंदर, that are known as a grooves. It has a winding edges called the threads. The winding edges is actually an inclined plane. जो edges होती है that are inclined plane. To check this, okay, now here I have used pen and I rolled it with a rubber band. See children, here you can see in the picture also it is shown, right? This upper part of this rubber band is showing the threads and the part middle the rubber ring that is showing a groove, right? So this kind of screw you all are aware, right? It look like a nails, right? So this is the example of a screw. See, I have tied this rubber ring over this pen, right? And I make an example of screw. So because of these inclined edges, screw require the less efforts to move inside the wooden than a nails. Nails जो होता है उसमें straight part होता है, वो easily अंदर नहीं जाता है, it requires a more effort, while the screw is require the less efforts. The screw jack used to lift cars for repair works and the on this same principle. Now pulley. Pulley. A simple pulley consists of a grooved wheel with a rope passing through around it. उसके बीच में से एक rope pass होता है. It is normally fixed to a support above the load. The load is tied to the one end of the rope and effort is applied to the other end of the rope. मतलब रोप के एक एंड पे लोड अप्लाई होता है और दूसरे एंड पे एफर्ट अप्लाई होता है. सी इट इज वेरी मच इजी to move the things downwards rather than to pull it up. मतलब उसको नीचे फेंकने में it is very much easier, but to pull any heavy object upward मतलब उसको ऊपर लाने में we need to use the more force. So this is the example of a pulley, right? This is the simple pulley with a grooved wheel. However, a simple pulley does not reduce the effort required to lift a heavy load. मतलब heavy load को lift करने में simple pulley is वर्क को लोड को रिड्यूस नहीं करता है. सो पुलीज आर यूज्ड टू पुल वाटर अप्स फ्रॉम द वेल, टू होस्ट अ फ्लैग, टू लिफ्ट ब्रिक्स एंड सीमेंट्स by the workers at the construction site. Now example of wheel and axle. Have you ever seen a porter at work? A porter pushes a large wheel around with the foot or a handle, right? And uses the force of the wheel to give shape to whatever he is making out of the clay. The center of the wheel, most machines, for example, sewing machine have a wheel and in it to turn the other part. Some machines like car, trucks and trains move on the wheel. Like your bicycle, all kind of scooters, right? It move on the wheel. So this is the example of wheel and axles. Now energy. What is energy? We need energy to do everything, to walk, to talk, to sign, to sing, run or to do any kind of work. We require energy. Is the ability to do the work. What is energy? Energy is the ability to do the work. There are many forms of energy in the nature, like light energy, heat energy, then sound energy, right? So, what is light energy? Energy is given out by the sun fire, electricity, bulb, tube lights, candles and so on. It helps us to see when it is reflected of objects. With the use of this light energy, we can visible the things, right? Heat energy. We get heat energy when things are burned. Fuels like petrol, diesel, coal and wool are burned to get heat. Heat energy is used to cook food, keep our homes warm, produce electricity और बहुत सारे वर्क जो होते हैं in that we use the heat energy. What is sound energy? Sound energy is generated an object vibrate. Any object when it vibrates, the sounds generate due to the force applied to it. For example, when a drum is hit, sound is produced. Sound energy can be transferred through a solid, liquid or a gas. Here you can see the vibration, right? Now, electrical energy. Electrical energy or electricity is also a kind of energy. We use electricity to run many electrical appliances, right? Like machine, television, mixer grinder, fan, or outside the home, like big factories. In a big factories, many machines, right? In that electricity is applied. Mechanical energy. The energy that an object has because of its position or movement is called the mechanical energy. For example, water that falls from the high point has more energy than water that is at the lower point. जो ऊपर से पानी बह रहा है at any peak of a mountain and it falling down, that have the more energy rather than the water is flowing, right? So when we get energy from many sources, now wind energy. See children, whenever you might have visited some any small hill type of a place, you might have seen the windmills, right? That is the this is the example of wind energy. Wind energy means आप सबको पता है कि बहुत तेज जो हवा चलती है, इट हैज़ अ force, right? It can move things. It can uproot the plants also, right? Like big tree also can be uprooted with the wind. So this wind energy is used to move the blades of a windmill. This windmills, by this using this windmill, we can generate the electricity, and this is environmental friendly also. Does not produce any kind of pollution. So this wind energy are environment friendly, right? Now water energy. Just as wind can move things, a flowing water also can move the things. Like example, in the energy in flowing water is used to turn the turbines to generate electricity also. The electricity generated from the moving water, that is known as a hydropower or hydroelectricity, right? In this we do not have to burn the fuels. So this is also environment friendly, right? Now solar energy. The energy that we get from the sunlight is called solar energy. It can be used to carry out many functions on the earth. Solar panels convert solar energy into electric energy also, which is used to run the machines. Solar cookers use sunlight to cook the food also. कई घरों में ग्राउंड में या तो टेरेस पे they put the solar cooker and they can cook the food in that solar cooker, right? सोलर पैनल्स भी आजकल बहुत घरों में देखे जाते हैं. हियर यू कैन सी द पिक्चर ऑफ अ सोलर पैनल, राइट, दैट प्रोड्यूस मीन्स जनरेट द इलेक्ट्रिसिटी. सोलर हीटर भी आजकल बहुत घरों में लगाए गए हैं. from that also electricity is generated, right? Solar energy is abundant on the earth and is also non-polluting. So this energy is also environment friendly, right? When electricity is obtained from the burning fuels, smoke and other polluting gases are formed. But when we use solar energy to get electricity, there is no pollution. Matlab, this is environment friendly. Now, geothermal energy. Geothermal energy is obtained from the heat inside the earth. Hot springs and streams from inside the earth are used to generate electricity, and this way of generating electricity also does not produce pollution, smoke or a gas. So the geothermal energy is also environment friendly. So children, what have you learned? Forces, then different kind of force. Force means any pull or push on the object, that is force. Then different kind of machines, different kind of energy. We require the force to do any kind of work, right? So here we end our chapter. I hope you understand it nicely. But you have to do one thing. In the science, you have to read the chapter thoroughly. आपको पूरा chapter अच्छे से 1 या तो 2 times read करना है. Then only you can easily understand whatever I wanted to convey to you. Right? Okay. Thank you and have a nice day.